My freshman year of college was really hard for a lot of reasons. The biggest one being how far away I felt from the world I wanted to change. In all of my classes, we talked about change in theory and change as a concept, but never in actuality or how we were going to practice it during college. By second semester, I began to get really disillusioned by the idea of college, or rather its purpose. At this crossroad in my life, I discovered semester in the city. This program seemed to be answering a question I was trying to answer. Could you create change while still learning about a problem? The answer is yes. This semester, I interned with Citizen Schools, an educational nonprofit that partners with existing middle schools to expand the learning day. I spent the past 6 or 7 years in different middle school classrooms. I remember my first day very clearly, how nervous I was, how quiet my voice was, and how intimidating I thought middle school students were. Years have gone by, and I couldn't imagine working with any other age group. The voices I recognized then as intimidating, I now recognize as laughter and warmth. So when I walked into my first day of teaching at the Brown Middle School in Chelsea, I expected no different. The class was bigger than I expected, but I believed in my experiences and training I had to become their best teacher. But for the first day of our class, I couldn't get them to listen to me. For the whole hour and 20 minutes, I spent time trying to get them all to sit so I could tell them who I was and what we were going to do for the next 10 weeks. Nothing worked. After countless countdowns and different classroom management techniques, I finally got them all to sit. But I still couldn't get any of them to write anything. We tried everything. We tried watching videos of the class, practicing techniques in small groups. Nothing was working. So I stepped back, and I tried to figure out where the disconnect was between me and my students and why they weren't doing what I asked them to do. I realized that I was so focused on trying to get them to write something, I didn't consider any other form of expression. So for our next class, I brought in markers and crayons and cardstock and glue and paper, and I posted a question on the board. What does it mean to be you? And I said, all you have to do is answer the question. It could be with words or with drawings, whatever you want, as long as it's on the cardstock. And for the first time, all of my students were engaged. They were sitting, and they were drawing, and they were super excited to do what I asked them to do. I watched my students become brilliant when I gave them the space to do so. I realized that I was standing in their way of showing me what they could do because I was being so limiting in the questions that I was asking. There was no college class that could have taught me to adapt to my classroom the way that this experience has. So not only can you create change while working on a problem, sometimes it's the only way. Thank you.